Unfortunately, money and personal finances are not required subjects in most high schools or colleges. A lack of basic financial education leaves many young adults clueless about how to manage their money, how to apply for credit, and how to get out of or stay out of debt. Here are 6 of the most important things to understand about personal finance and money. Things I wish I knew when I was back in high school. Learning these tips will jumpstart your financial success. So, let's get cracking. What's up everyone, my name is Joris and welcome back to the Money Network. Today we're looking into personal finance and we will cover some of the most important tips and tricks. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1. Learn self-control. If you're lucky, your parents taught you this skill when you were a kid. And if not, don't worry too much. This skill can be learned at any time, it can be developed at any time. But keep in mind that the sooner you learn the fine art of delaying gratification, the sooner you will find it easy to keep your finances in check. Budgeting is the cornerstone of your financial health. Yes, you can probably effortlessly purchase any item on credit the minute you want, but obviously it's better to wait until you actually have the funds for it, if you have actually saved up for it. Do you really want to pay interest on a holiday trip or even a new book? And if you think that is ridiculous, you'd be surprised. In the USA, 47% of Americans carry credit card debt. That is almost half of the population. In Europe, we don't have this credit card culture, but there's still a few outliers. In some European countries, 1 in 4 is a creditor, and that's still a lot of people in credit debt. And something you should know by now, credit card debt is one of the worst debts you can have. The interest rates are often so high that you're paying a lot more in interest than you are paying in principal. So really beware of this kind of debt. You should make a habit of putting all your purchases on credit cards if only you can pay the bill at the end of the month one time in full. If you can't, you still might be paying for those items years after you've bought them. If you want to keep your credit cards for the convenience factor or the rewards they offer, then always make sure to pay your balance in full when the bill arrives, and don't carry more cards than you can keep track of. This financial tip is crucial for creating a healthy future for your credit history. As said, in Europe there is no real credit card culture and the rewards are sporadic. I made a video talking about this specific topic, credit cards. I've made it in the past. Be sure to go check it out. Tip number 2, control your financial future. If you don't want to manage your own money, other people will find a way to manage it for you. And some of these people might even be ill-intentioned, like unscrupulous commission-based financial planners. Others may have the best intentions, but they lack the knowledge. Like your grandparents or parents that really want you to buy that big house with the big garden in the suburbs, while your budget only allows you a small apartment there, with a 25-year loan. Instead of relying on others for advice, take responsibility and read a few books on personal finance. Or better yet, become part of the Money Network and learn it all here. Don't forget to subscribe. Tip number 3, know where your money goes. Once you know the basics of personal finance, you will realize how important it is to make sure that your expenses are not exceeding your income. It all seems very easy on paper, but if more money is going out than there is coming in, you are gonna have a bad time. The best way to stay on top of this is by budgeting. Once you can see how your daily expenses, like going for drinks, ordering food, or grabbing a coffee on the way to your work, how all of these add up over the course of a month, at that point you will realize that making these small, manageable changes in your budget, in your everyday expenses, can have huge impact on your financial situation. It will have the same impact as getting a raise. One Starbucks cafe latte a day comes down to $109.50 or around €100 per month. For that price, you can buy a new coffee maker at home every 2 weeks. twice a month. Look for your monthly expenses, track them and decide if they are still worth having. I'm not saying that you should cut everything down to the bone, but I am sure that at least some of your expenses can be cut. Another good idea is to look at your monthly subscriptions. List them and cancel them if you're not using them anymore. Go do that now and let me know in the comments how much monthly money you are saving by looking through your monthly expenses and canceling them, of course. Tip number 4, start an emergency fund. One of personal finance's most repeated tips is to pay yourself first. No matter how much you owe in mortgage loans, student loans, credit loans, or whatever loans, and no matter how low your salary may be, it is always wise to find some amount, any amount of money in your budget to save and put into your emergency fund every month. Having money in a savings account to use for emergencies can really keep you out of trouble financially and help you sleep better at night. Also, if you get into the habit of saving money and treating it as a non-negotiable monthly expense, pretty sure you'll have more than just emergency money saved up. You'll have retirement money, you'll have vacation money, and even money for a down payment of a house. There's no real fixed amount you should have on your savings account. It differs from person to person. Some people say that they need 6 months of expenses on their savings accounts, and others say that they need a lot more. Personally, I'm fine with 5,000 euros. There's no real reason why I would need more than that in any given month. So I feel very comfortable with having a rather small emergency fund. And I sleep well, knowing that I can use that money if unexpected costs arise. Tip number 5, start saving for your retirement. It's never too early to start investing for your retirement. In fact, the sooner you start, the easier it will get. This reason is twofold. First, starting off at a very young age will start a habit earlier, and it will be very easy to keep it going. And secondly, the power of compounding interest will be in your favor. If you're new to the network and you don't know what I'm talking about, well, here's a quick explanation. If you invest your money, there will be a positive return on that money. It will generate interest. If you start out with 100 euro and your return is 10%, at the end of the year you will have 110 euros. That is 100 euros you started out with and 10 euros in interest. But that extra 10 euros stays invested and it will in turn generate returns for itself. So in year 2, you are getting a 10% return on your initial investments. Your original 100 euros will again generate 10 euros in interest, but your 10 euros will also gain 10%, so an extra euro. In total, at the end of year 2, you will have 121 euros. When your gained interest also starts to generate interest, we are talking about compound interest. And it doesn't seem to be much at first, but time is your friend here. This graph of Business Insider shows us the magic of compounding interest. Look at the purple and the orange line. These are two people who start investing in the same product with the same amount of money every month. One is 25 years old and the other one is 35 years old. They invest exactly the same amount of money every month in exactly the same product. But since the first person started 10 years earlier, his portfolio is growing so much faster than the second person's. Even the blue person, the third person who starts to invest later and invests twice the amount the purple person does, will have to wait years before his investments reach similar heights. The power of compounding interest and time are not to be neglected. On this graph, you can see how much you will need to save on a monthly basis to reach a portfolio of 100,000 euros or pounds at the age of 65. See how that the person of 60 has to save almost 1,500 per month to get to his goal, while the newborn only has to do 17 or 18. Where are you on this graph, and does this number above your head seem reasonable? Then what are you waiting for? Start investing. Tip number 6, protect your wealth. If you want to make sure that all of your hard-earned money doesn't vanish, you will need to take steps to protect it. If you rent, get a renter's insurance to protect the contents of your place from events like burglary or fire. Disability income insurance protects your greatest asset, the ability to earn an income, by providing you with a steady income if you ever become unable to work for an extended period of time due to illness or injury. In Belgium, we have a lot of safety nets, so don't worry too much. If you want to help managing your money, also find a fee-only financial planner to provide unbiased advice that is in your best interest, rather than a commission-based financial advisor who earns money when you sign up with the program or with the investments his or her company backs. If your money is well diversified and well invested, it is safe for the long term, and it doesn't need a lot of upkeep. When everything is set into play, you can sleep on both ears. It all takes a while to learn, but once you get the basics, you are off to a great journey. So that is 6 tips. Do you have any other tips I haven't covered here? Let us know in the comments and share them with the Money Network. If you've liked this video, be sure to leave a like for the YouTube algorithm. Join the Money Network and subscribe to the channel. We thank you very much for watching and see you next week.